Do not be afraid, you will not be put to shame. Do not fear disgrace, you will not be humiliated. You will forget the shame of your youth and remember no more. That is a scripture from the book of Job. And that's a scripture that I kept repeating to myself over and over and over again as I kept thinking, what am I going to use to represent my past? Have you all ever had a moment in your life where you wish never occurred, that you could just forget about it and put it aside and never think of it again? That's how I feel about my past. It's something that I used to be ashamed of, but now I reflect on it and I'm proud to see who I was, who I am, and the goals of the woman I am wanting to become. And that is exactly what I'm going to speak to you about today. I have 3 objects that represent my past, my present, and my future. My first one is a blindfold. A blindfold to me represents what it brings a person when they wear it. When you put it on, you see complete darkness. You can't see anyone and you don't feel like anyone can see you. And that is exactly how I felt about my past. Darkness to me means hopelessness, being unwanted, and feeling unworthy. And that is exactly how I felt about my past. And that is exactly how I felt about myself. I felt unwanted, unworthy. I didn't want anyone to see me. I didn't care if anyone did. My relationship with my family was destroyed. I didn't care about fixing it. I just wanted to run away and get away from everyone and everything. I needed to be saved and taken out of that rut. And thankfully, I was, because I got to know who Jesus Christ is. Which brings me to my next object. A bottle of water. As you guys can see, it's halfway filled. And as you noticed, I said halfway filled rather than halfway empty. In my present, I get to see the positive things in life, the positive things about myself. I don't see my weaknesses anymore, rather than I focus on my strengths. I don't get to see the negativity through the situations that I go through, and I get to see the positiveness, and that is what gets me through it. For example, because I come from Wisconsin, my tuition in-state is doubled, and although financial aid helps me, I still have to pay out of pocket. Just this semester, I had to pay $2,700. And thankfully, I got reimbursed from last year's tuition through tax, and I was able to pay for this semester as well as save up for the next semester that I have to pay for. If I had focused on the negativity of the situation, I would have probably dropped out of school. I would have given up. I would have settled for a whatever job. But I didn't. I decided to think and look at the positive out of it, and that is that I'm going to get my education. I'm going to become an awesome teacher. And I wouldn't have thought of any of this if I didn't think positive about my life and about myself. Positivity comes from self-worth, self-love, and self-value. And I would have none of it if it weren't for Jesus Christ. Which brings me to my last object. A Bible. To me, a Bible represents salvation, direction, and my God who holds my life in the palm of his hands. As it is said in the book of Job, chapter 12, verse 10, in the New King James Version, in whose hand is the life of every living thing and the breath of all mankind. I don't care what's going to happen to me. I don't care what I go through, because I know my God's going to get me through it. My life is in the palm of his hands. He knows what to bring into my life, what to take away, because he loves me and he cares about me. And I trust him. As it is said on the book of Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5, in the NIT version, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. I trust him more than I trust myself, because although I feel like I know what I deserve, my God knows what I need. I have wants, I have desires. For example, I want to be married. I want to have children. I want to be a teacher. I want to be close to my family, whether it's in Wisconsin or in Texas. But only God knows what's going to happen to me, and I trust him. I may not get what I want, but I'm going to get what I need in life. My past, my present, and what my future may hold for me are completely different. from one another. The same as who I was, who I am, and who I will become. They are completely different people, but they all have one thing in common, and that is that God was with me then, God is with me now, and God will always be with me forevermore. As it is said in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11 in the NLT version, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And that is exactly what I believe the Lord has planned for me. Thank you.